Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm always slow to start my lives because it takes a minute for the Facebook system to catch up and actually confirm I'm live. And there we go. Hello, it's Rebecca Robbins from SLP. And I'm sorry to say I don't have a catchy tune to sing to you guys today, but what I do want to do is kind of jump on here and kind of have a chat with you all from my heart about nonverbal no more. So I realized that I've been sharing a lot of information that gives you a sneak peek into the content of what's actually inside my program, Nonverbal No More. But I haven't really spent a lot of time telling you all the reasons why I created this program and why I believe in this program and why I'm so passionate about this program. So that's what I wanted to do today. I just wanted to kind of come on and give you a little sneak peek into my heart as opposed to a sneak peek into the program. So we're going to take it all the way back to why I even became a speech language pathologist. And I think I might have shared this story all the way back like this around this time last year when I first started making my online videos. Feels like a long time ago now. But so you may have been able to guess from all of my singing and dancing that I do in my lives that I am an actress. I joke around and say that I came out of the womb an actress. I've been acting in plays since I was 5, and all growing up, I thought that's what I was going to do with my life. But then when I got to actually be college age, I decided that I wanted my major in college to be in something that I could guarantee make money in. But I also knew that I needed to choose something that I was going to be equally passionate about because it's just how I'm built. I need to be passionate about what I'm doing in my life. So I was taking a bunch of different classes at my local community college and as a liberal arts major, and I took this class called The Speaking Voice. And in there, we learned all about the phonetic alphabet, and everyone in the class was like groaning like, oh, this is so hard. And I was like, ooh, I love the phonetic alphabet, this is so much fun. And at the same time, my nephew was 3 years old and was still not talking, and we were just starting the process as a family of putting him through the early intervention system. Now this at this point in my life I was like, I don't know, 19 or 20 or so. And this was my first foray in the early intervention system. I really didn't know anything about it up until then. But what I did know is that when my family and I would be able to hear my nephew say his first words and his first sentence, that it would mean the world to us. So it was kind of like the perfect storm where I was learning about the field of speech pathology in one of my classes, and I was discovering the field of speech pathology in my family and the impact that it could have on my family. And I knew that I found what I wanted to major in. I knew that I could be passionate about this because I really thought it was fun when I was learning. And I knew that if I could help just one family hear their child speak, then my life will have meant something. And I just knew at that point that's why I would become a speech pathologist. And now I have had the blessing, the fortune to help many families help hear their kids speak and make that impact. But that was the genesis of why I became a speech pathologist, which is an important part of the story because it always has been about being able to help families hear their kids talk. And that's really what the goal of Nonverbal No More is to help families hear their children talk. And just because they haven't been able to learn how to do that yet, or to master how to control their mouth to speak yet, it doesn't mean they can't. And it doesn't mean that the parents can't learn the skills that they need to learn to help them get there. So let's fast forward a little bit through my career. So now I've got through the grueling schooling process of becoming a speech pathologist, and I'm actually a few years into my career. and I discover the world of personal development and online courses for personal development. And I took my first online course for personal development. I can't remember what it was, but I just remember thinking to myself, wow, this platform would work amazing for parent training. So at this point in my career, I was working in a school for children with autism, and I had already spent some time working with in the homes with parents as well, and really gaining an understanding of how integral parents are in the process and how important they are in the process and how important parent training is in the process. And I fully believed in the power of parent training, and I loved the work I got to do when it was me teaming with a mom or a dad or both together to help their child speak. It just really lit me up. So when I was taking this very first online personal development course, I thought to myself, wow, this would be an amazing platform to create a parent training for families with autism. And boom, the idea for Mind Shaper SLP was born. And it was just an idea for many, many years. And then I finally worked up the courage and took action to make it a reality. Um, but yeah, so Mindshaper SLP has always been about how can I work with parents and train parents to help their kids, because these 1 in 58 children with autism are going to grow up and become 1 in 58 adults. And if I can do something to help those 1 in 58 children grow up to become more independent or completely independent adults, then imagine then again, my life will have meant something, and I will have impacted and made a difference in a lot of families' lives. So that is really the goal, because I believe that when we get the parents on board, that is really the best chance we can give our kids to have the best future possible and to be as independent as possible in the future. So now now that's the whole component of like how Mindshaper SLP came to be. So now I want to kind of back it up to the evolution of my hand cue system and how this ended up kind of evolving around the same time as the idea for Mindshaper SLP. So I learned a, some of these hand cues from a supervisor that I worked with, Nancy Uttendorfer. Shout out. I love her. She's amazing. And she was teaching me how to use some of these cues in my student teaching. And then as I began to have my own caseload, I took the cues that she taught me and I kind of fleshed it out into a whole system. And my very first it's almost like the very first rendition of Nonverbal No More included me in my little therapy room that was like the size of a closet with my digital video camera. You remember those that had the little VHS cassettes in them? And I recorded myself saying the hand cues, and so that I could put that recording on DVD and send it home to the parents of the students that I was using the hand cues with, so that they could carry it over with their kids at home. Because I was seeing such progress with the kids in my therapy room, and I wanted their parents to be able to do it too. And you can't really explain this thing in a home book note. So that was the very first video. And that video that I made, they circled around the school, and I think I had people from neighboring schools say to me like, oh, I have your hand cue pictures, or oh, I have your hand cue DVD. And then Nancy and I gave a parent workshop at the school of how to use the hand cues, and that's when we took the hand cue pictures. And I remember, it's so funny, I was sick as a dog the day we were going to take the pictures, and the only reason that I went into work that day was because I knew we had to take the pictures, and I figured that I would be the one just operating the camera. But no, I was the one that was in the pictures. So these pictures were everywhere, with me without a stitch of makeup on, my hair pulled back, and and some of the pictures I was like wonky eyed. But these pictures were everywhere for a while locally, and a lot of therapists and families that I worked with, because I used these pictures myself, and the future families I worked with, they got benefit out of these pictures. So now I created my own little DVD. I created my own little like set of pictures to use as parent resources. And it's just as I kept doing this over and over again, it just was like this is my first online course. This is the perfect first online course. I was honing my skills and the actual therapy protocol as I had more and more kids come on my caseload that were nonverbal, and I was having to use this hand cue system and the therapy protocol that I created that I teach in Nonverbal No More. And it was very structured. And the more that I used this same therapy approach, this very structured same therapy approach with each new child, and with each new child, it was working, and each new child was gaining more control over their ability to talk. I realized that there was something here and that this would just fit perfectly into an online course format. And boom, that's when nonverbal, or the idea for Nonverbal No More, was created. Um, so that's really the story behind how all of this came to be. It really has been a career long venture for me, and right from the genesis of why I became an SLP, it's always been for me. I'm like gonna tear up a little bit. It's always been for me about helping parents hear their child talk. That's because literally this is not cliche. Like, everybody deserves a voice. Every child deserves a voice. And if I know how to help you hear your child's voice, then I have a responsibility to get that information out to you. And wow, didn't expect this. So I so deeply believe that parents can learn these skills, and when they learn these skills and implement these skills, your child has access to basically, like, every interaction can be a therapeutic or a speech therapy interaction. So when you're out in the grocery store and your child's pointing to something, and you know how to cue the sounds that are in that word to help your child say it right on the fly, and that can happen anytime throughout the day, imagine how much progress your child can make. It doesn't just have to be confined into the 30 minutes 3 times a week, or the 30 minutes 4 times a week, or the 30 minutes twice a week that your child gets in speech therapy. It can be your child can get exposure to this stuff all the time in any setting, and you can absolutely learn these skills. I know, because I've taught many adults that aren't speech pathologists to do this, and it's the adults that have been on the students, that the adults that are on their team, and by team I mean their teachers, their paraprofessionals, and their parents. When they've all gotten on board and learning these cues and carrying over the practice outside of my therapy room, those were the kids that did the best. And that is why I am so passionate about this program, because I get to teach as many parents who are willing to take the journey with me how to use these skills. And then once you know them for life, and you can help your child speak. And your child doesn't have to just limit to an hour and a half a week of speech therapy in order to make progress in his or her speech. He can make progress all throughout the day, anytime that you're with your child in any environment, because you'll learn the skills to be able to do that. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed my story, a little sneak peek into my heart as to how Mindshaper SLP came to be, how Nonverbal No More came to be, and why I am so fully passionate about what I do and my program. And if you, so it's very exciting. Nonverbal No More will be opening for enrollment next month again. And I'm very excited about this. The best way to be in the know and to find out all the details, if you think Nonverbal No More is right for you and your child, is to get on my email list. And the best way to do that is through my Teach Your Child to Say Hi and Bye free video tutorial, because this will really give you a sneak peek into the hand cues. I basically call it like a free DIY speech session, because you can watch the 20-25 minute video, learn some skills that you need to teach your child to say those words right away. You can literally start practicing with them after you hit stop on the video or after the video ends. So if you'd like that video, sign up at bit.ly/say-hi-bye. And that will get you on my list, and you will be in the know for details of Nonverbal No More as soon as it opens. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of my Mindshaper SLP community, for being an SLPeep. And I look forward to talking to you all again soon. Bye.